what we are looking at is the beating heart of China's instant commerce boom. It's called the dark store or the front warehouse. Unlike a supermarket, no customer will ever set foot inside this building. Every single square inch of this space is engineered for one thing and one thing only: speed. Staff pick and pack orders in minutes, then hand them to riders. The goal? Groceries, medicine or coffee at your door in 30 minutes or less. As an Alibaba investor, I wanted to understand this model versus traditional e-commerce and how it actually works, if it will cannibalize their own classic e-commerce, and what the impact on margins will be. So I dug in, and what I found might surprise you. Meituan, the food delivery app, started selling electronics and general merchandise through its flash purchase platform as far back as 2018. By late 2024, over 300 million users had purchased non-food items through Meituan flash shopping service. Daily volume surpassed 10 million orders in third quarter 2024, hit 18 million by April 2025, and surged to 25 million by mid-year. Meituan wasn't just delivering food anymore, it was delivering everything, and doing it faster than JD's highly praised same-day or next-day delivery. For a growing segment of consumers, Meituan had become the default app for speed for electronics. Now, for those who don't know, this was JD territory. JD is the leader for online electronics, and it was gradually losing people's perception about being the fastest option, a critical pillar of its historical differentiation. So JD's entry into food delivery in February 2025 wasn't an offensive move, it was defensive. They needed a rider network in order to be able to match Meituan delivery speed. JD founder Richard Liu personally led the charge, pledging zero commission for merchants and full social insurance for 150,000 full-time delivery riders. By June 2025, JD hit 25 million daily food delivery orders. Now let's get back to Alibaba. LMS had been China's number 2 food delivery player since Alibaba acquired it in 2018. But in April 2025, Alibaba made a strategic pivot that changed everything. It launched Taobao Flash Purchase, integrating LMS delivery infrastructure directly into Taobao, China's largest e-commerce app with over 900 million users. In July 5, Meituan reported 120 million daily instant retail orders. As a response, Alibaba unveiled a 50 billion yuan, that's $7 billion year-long subsidy plan. On Saturdays, in July 2025, Taobao Flash Sale handed out coupons worth up to 188 yuan per user. By July 12, Meituan hit 150 million orders in a single day, and their servers crashed from demand overload. Now let's talk about how instant commerce works, because this is where a lot of investors get confused. There are fundamentally three models competing here. I will call Model 1 the asset-light model. This is where Meituan started and where Alibaba's LMS historically operated. This is the food delivery app we are all used to, the Uber Eats or Deliveroo. The platform owns the customer relationship, the app, the payment system, and the delivery network, but the inventory is owned by third-party merchants, local convenience stores, supermarkets, and specialty shops. One disadvantage with this model is that the platform handles the customer relationship and absorbs every reputational hit, wrong items, stockouts, quality issues, while exercising limited operation control over the merchant. When a customer gets a bad experience, they wanna resolve the issue with Meituan or LMS, not the corner store that actually fulfilled the order. Other problems are limited SKUs, limited hours, inconsistent quality. Try to order a phone charger, a bottle of mid-range wine, and a pack of diapers at 2 AM through the same store. You can't. The SKUs aren't there, the store is closed, or the merchant never stocked those items because their walk-in customers don't buy them. The advantage of this model is low capital requirement. The platform doesn't pay the store, doesn't pay for inventory or staff, and it's fast to launch. The second model is the Lightning Warehouse, also called the dark store. This is the beating heart of instant commerce revolution, the dark store you saw in the opening montage. A dedicated micro warehouse, no storefront, no walk-in customers. This model can also be split into two submodels because of the way they operate. First one is the franchise dark store. This is Meituan's strategic pivot. They began building its own network of micro warehouses called Lightning Warehouses. As of early 2025, Meituan had more than 30,000 of these front warehouses. Wang Puzhong, head of Meituan's core local commerce, has stated a target of 100,000 by 2027. These are small, optimized fulfillment centers, typically 100-200 square meters, located in dense residential areas, often in basements or converted warehouses spaces to keep rent 30-50% lower than traditional retail storefronts. They operate 24 hours a day, with night orders accounting for 15-20% of total volume. SKU count ranges from 5,000 to 10,000, covering everything from daily necessities to electronics, but notably no fresh products. A profitable Lightning Warehouse needs 400 plus orders per day at an average order value of around 45 yuan, generating monthly GMV of over 500,000 yuan. Gross margins typically run between 18 and 22%, but after platform fees of roughly 15%, the net margin for a well-run store is 5-8%. The advantage of this model are scalability, because it uses merchant capital, not platform capital, low risk for platform because the inventory risk sits with the franchise, and dense coverage, can cover the residential neighborhood quickly. Here, Alibaba is playing a catch-up game with Meituan. The second subcategory for this model is the self-operated warehouse. In this model, the platform rents the space, buys the inventory, and hires the staff. They have full control, full risk, and also full margin capture. All three big players run this: Meituan to Shaoxiang Supermarket. They also acquired Ding Dong Maikai in February 2026 for over $700 million, adding 1,000 plus self-operated front warehouses. Alibaba is heavily investing in Taobao instant commerce, self-operated front warehouses for non-food Tmall brand products, integrated with Ele.me delivery. JD through JD Grocery and JD Daojia, self-operated front warehouses leveraging existing logistics. Through this model, the platform have full quality control. They can implement standardized operation to achieve consistent customer experience. Platform can decide what to stock and when to discount. And this model ensures higher long-term margins. The disadvantages are capital intensive. The platform pays for every store, every SKU, every salary. Also with this model, there is a slower expansion. Each new location requires direct investment and approval. Another disadvantage is, of course, the inventory risk. Model 3 is the store-warehouse hybrid, a real physical supermarket that customers can walk into, but the exact same inventory serves online orders. A staff member walks to the same aisles, picks the same products, packs them for delivery. Who does this? Alibaba through Freshippo, also known as Hema. They are the only player at meaningful scale. JD also does this through 7Fresh and limited partnerships, and Meituan is new in the game. They just start doing offline retail in their Shaoxiang supermarket, with plans to have 20 physical stores nationwide by the end of this year. Advantages of this model: you have dual revenue stream. You have walk-in customers plus online orders from the same inventory. Also, established supplier relationships, years of negotiation power, consistent quality. Disadvantages? It's asset heavy because it requires real estate, construction, long leases, physical retail operations. The headline numbers are impressive. The online food delivery sector grew 24.5% in 2025 to 2.29 trillion yuan. The three platforms together poured roughly 173 billion yuan into subsidies. Average daily orders went from about 80 million before the war to 250 million at the peak. But these headlines don't tell the full story. First, a lot of these orders were pickups, not deliveries. Both Meituan and JD rolled out aggressive pickup features. Meituan offered 0 yuan self-pickup coupons. JD launched a nationwide pickup feature in December 2025. When platforms report daily orders, a customer walking to a store to grab their own coffee counts the same as a 30-minute delivery. But the economics are completely different. No delivery cost, no rider payment, no last mile logistic. This inflates order numbers without reflecting true instant delivery demand. Second, a massive chunk of orders were cheap coffee and bubble tea. Tea and coffee accounted for about a quarter of Taobao flash sale daily volume, roughly 10 million orders out of 40 million on May 26, 2025 alone. We are talking 5.9 yuan iced Americanos, 3.9 yuan twin cup blueberry tea combos, 7 yuan Ayuki drinks that used to cost 25. Some consumers fill their entire fridge with free milk tea thanks to 0 yuan milk tea deals. Third, the financial damage was staggering. Over the last 3 quarters of 2025, Meituan, Alibaba, and JD.com spent roughly 40 billion, 70 billion, and 35 billion yuan respectively on subsidies. The results in second quarter 2025 were brutal. Meituan's adjusted net profit plummeted 89% year-over-year to 1.49 billion yuan. JD's adjusted net profit fell 49%. Alibaba's adjusted net profit declined 80%. Meituan went from a 2024 profit of 35.8 billion yuan to a 2025 net loss of 23.4 billion yuan. JD's diluted EPS was effectively halved. By mid-2025, the industry realized this war was unsustainable. The signals start coming from the top. In July 2025, Wang Puzhong, head of Meituan's food delivery unit, gave a rare interview to LatePost. It's worth noting that this is something that Meituan never does. It was the first major media appearance in 8 years. He argued that price war was unsustainable and that market demand would collapse once subsidies ran out. But he also warned Alibaba that Meituan wouldn't give up. Food delivery is Meituan's core business, and they would put everything on the line to preserve market share. Then came the telling line. Wang suggested that there was only one way to end the war. Quote, "A higher dimensional force intervenes and says, 'You guys stop fighting now, that's enough.'" Translation: regulators needed to step in. Meituan was publicly asking the government to save it from itself. The government stepped in because the market couldn't stop. In May 2025, Chinese State Administration for Market Regulation summoned Meituan, JD, and Ele.me. The message: protect your riders, don't destroy your merchants. The platforms nodded and kept subsidizing. In July, Meituan hit 150 million orders in a single day. Their server crashed. Riders couldn't pick up orders. Customers waited hours. SAMR summoned them again. The tone was sharper. Rational market behavior. Still, the cash kept burning. So regulators escalated. In April 2026, 7 platforms were fined 3.6 billion yuan for ghost listing and food safety violation. In June, SAMR released the 10 rules of food delivery platform subsidy practices. Long-term subsidy wars were banned, forcing merchants into promotions were banned. Below-cost selling was banned. Platforms must now disclose every subsidy campaign publicly. Beijing called this involution-style competition, a race where everybody loses. The food delivery war became a top 10 SAMR enforcement case. When three tech giants burn 150 billion yuan in a year, when their profits collapse and stocks crater together, that's systematic risk. The government stepped in because the alternative was watching the sector eat itself alive. The message was simple: compete on service, quality, technology, not on who can subsidize faster. All three platforms backed the rules. Meituan said it firmly supports them. By early 2026, subsidies declined. Meituan's unit economics improved from -2 yuan per order towards break-even. So what does this all mean if you're holding Alibaba stock? First, the war was expensive, but Alibaba gained strategic ground. Alibaba grew its food delivery market share. Instant retail helped drive growth in core e-commerce. The integration of Hema into Taobao created a unified instant retail command under Jiang Fan. Second, the regulatory ceiling is now in place. The government has drawn a line under subsidy wars. This benefits the platforms with established market position. Alibaba, through Taobao Fresh Purchase and Hema, is now firmly positioned as a top 2 player. The days of existential pricing threats are likely over. Third, the real battleground is shifting. Wang Xing said it himself: AI is going to revolutionize everything. Alibaba's 126 billion yuan AI spending cycle isn't just about cloud. It's about using AI to optimize inventory, predict demand, route deliveries, and personalize the instant retail experience. The company that wins instant commerce won't just be the one with the most riders, it will be the one with the smartest logistic brain. Now, before I wrap up, let me address the 3 questions that matter the most for me as an Alibaba investor. Question 1. What happens to margins? Right now, they are terrible. Alibaba is burning an estimated 70 billion yuan annually on instant retail. JD's food delivery entry wiped out nearly half their profit. But the trajectory is improving. The platforms are shifting from acquire at any cost to optimize unit economics. The bull case: as density increases and subsidies fade, fixed costs get spread over more orders. A dark store doing 400 orders per day at 45 yuan AOV can hit 5 to 8% net margins. A platform with 50,000 such stores, or 900 million users feeding into a hybrid system, can generate meaningful profit at scale. The bear case: margin in instant retail may never match classic e-commerce. Last mile delivery is expensive, labor costs are rising, and consumers trained on subsidies may not stick around at full price. My view: margins will improve from today's catastrophic level, but they will likely settle below traditional e-commerce. This is a volume business, not a margin business. Question 2. Isn't this just stealing orders from classic e-commerce? Yes and no. For certain categories like phone chargers, cosmetics, and small appliances, instant retail is absolutely cannibalizing traditional Taobao and Tmall orders. If you can get a charger in 30 minutes, why wait 1 to 3 days? But Alibaba's management frames this differently. They call it far too near strategy. Classic e-commerce handles planned purchases, bulk grocery order, big-ticket items, international brands. Instant retail handles urgent, spontaneous demand. The same consumer uses both: Tmall for their weekly stock-up, Taobao flash purchase for tonight's dinner, and a forgotten phone charger. The data supports this. Alibaba reports that instant retail users are increasingly distinct from pure e-commerce users, and cross-shopping is growing basket size rather than simply shifting spend. The bet is that instant retail expands the total addressable market rather than just splitting the same pie. But the honest answer: some cannibalization is inevitable. And the last question, if there's cannibalization risk and margin pressure, why is Alibaba doing this at all? Well, from my perspective I see three reasons. First of all, defensive. If Alibaba didn't enter, Meituan would own the instant retail layer. And once consumers get used to 30-minute delivery for everything, traditional e-commerce becomes the slow option. Alibaba couldn't let Meituan be the default app for speed. Second of all, strategic data. Instant retail generates high-frequency purchase data, location, timing, preferences, and demand patterns. CEO Eddie Wu and Chairman Joseph Tsai have explicitly called instant retail an irreplaceable engine in the AI closed loop. Better demand prediction means better inventory placement, which means lower cost and faster delivery. Long-term position. The government has now kept subsidy wars. This freezes market share roughly where it stands. Alibaba bought its way into a top 2 position. Now it needs to make that position profitable. So there is it, my perspective about this entire instant delivery war. Thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, subscribe for more deep dives into today's economic stories. Drop your questions in the comments, I'll be reading them.